personnel in sight.
Here, troops in contact at this time.
Lead vehicle are taking fire on primary and secondary positions, requesting immediate engagement and overhead control. Engage, engage, engage.
Look at that fish! Yeah! Whoa! Get on the ground! That's up! Are you kidding me right now? Air Force! You lose Air Force! Yeah! 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 That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! Yes! Boom, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Well, that's what I'm talking about, boom!
This is Force on Force, a bracket-style tournament featuring the branches of our military head-to-head on the water. The site is Toledo Bend Reservoir on the Texas-Louisiana border. The commander for this operation is Lieutenant Colonel Cody Robertson. Each battle begins in the TOC, the Tactical Operations Center, set up lakeside, where Lieutenant Colonel Robertson delivers the rules of engagement for the day. Before we meet today's competitors, you'll need a little backstory. Now, there's only one team with more than one championship in Force on Force history. Sean Dalrymple and Jeff Campbell won Season 4 and won Season 6. The two are good friends and came to Toledo Bend, the site of their first championship, with big plans for win number 3. But Commanding Officer Cody Robertson had a surprise in store for the dynamic duo. Lieutenant Colonel Robertson instituted a new process for team selection, a random draw, and Dalrymple and Campbell would be on different teams. But as luck would have it, they are facing each other in the first round.
Well, it was quite a surprise. You know, I had pre-fished with Sean being the returning champions. We assumed, however erroneously, that we'd be in the same boat together. So all of our waypoints, all of the fish that unfortunately we didn't find while pre-fishing, we just completely blew our game plan out of the water.
So at the pre-tournament banquet draw, Army bass angler Jeff Campbell drew Air Force bass angler David Hutchison. And Sean Dalrymple will fish with Dan McKinley, both representing the U.S. Army. Only one member of the two-time Force on Force champs will advance to the semifinals.
You know how to operate that piece of machinery?
Looks like I made it.
Hey, that's the first part, making it to the SP point on time. You know, you have been a little bit late here lately.
Well, you know, officers always show up late and leave early. Yeah, Sean, it's a good thing I pre-fished with you, so now I'm not worried about the fish you're on.
Hey, I'm all about it right there. I've been carrying you for
with the gear in the rear, Sean. That's all you're gonna do, man.
It's about time you carry me along the way.
All right, bring it in. Welcome back to Season 7 of Force on Force. You'll be fishing for a national championship with your name on this trophy and a national championship ring. Now, 2 of you already have 2. So you've been split apart, and there's an opportunity for one of you to be the first person to ever have 3 national championship rings and do a three-peat. All right, with that said, this is the season of Attack of the Love Bugs, and we're gonna get straight to the rules of engagement right over here. So this tournament, 5-fish operation, 14 inches, 4-hour operation. Your basic load, you'll have your BioBoard basic load loaded down with Strike King products. You'll have Liquid Mayhem, Impact jigs, Wiley X polarized sunglasses, Dermatone skincare products, Fins braided line, and BioBoard to power all the boats, and Ruck Pack energy drinks in case you get thirsty out on the water. And last but not least, everybody will have 6 of these luge reels combos to add to your arsenal out on the water. All right, bring it in for your G2 Intelligence Lake Report.
Here is your G2 Lake Report. Hurricane Harvey is off the coast but heading this way. Winds will be light at the beginning, but the outer bands will cause winds to pick up into the mid-teens with gusts into the low 20s, which will affect the ride back to the TOC for any team looking to make a big run up the lake. Temperatures are in the upper 80s with barometric pressure falling in the first half of this round before rising a bit in the second half.
Are there any questions at this time?
No, sir.
Any questions this time?
No, sir.
All right, shake hands, move out, and draw fire.
Good luck. Good luck. Stay safe.
Hey, you ready?
All
for
right,
this?
let's get in the boats.
Hey,
Oh, I'm used to getting in that one.
I know you're used
I don't know what happened.
I know you're used to me carrying you, but it's
I don't know what
happen
happened.
this time, okay? I would check my phone right now. Might have left you a little message on there.
A little virtual smack talk.
What's the matter, Jeff?
I noticed my rod had been messed with. That's dirty. That's dirty tricks, man. You ready? Gotta get his music going.
Force on Force is brought to you by Skeeter Boats, by Lowrance, by Hook, Line, and Barbecue, and by Impact Jigs. The men of Force on Force are a special breed. They've all served or are still serving in our military. Here's Scott Deaton of the U.S. Marine Corps.
The challenge coin was something that that meant a lot to you. It was a special piece, and so once with the Marine Corps, we're once a Marine, always a Marine, and so I had a friend of mine that actually purchased some challenge coins after the fact. Once we had gotten out, distributed them to me. I distributed some friends of mine and things like that. So this one in particular is mine. And it basically says, once a Marine, always a Marine. And I keep this, if you look at it, it's got Velcro on the back of it. And so I keep that in my truck. So when I'm driving, it helps me with my road rage, because you remember that you're a part of something bigger. But it also helps me with understanding where I've been and where I'm going and what my purpose is, that sort of thing.
Heading out to the water in this preliminary round. Once again, we broke up the two-time champions, and as luck would have it in the pre-tournament draw, they are facing each other today.
It is kind of bittersweet today because, the whole time since Jeff and I won last year, we thought the whole time that we'd be defending our championship for a third time. We've been making plans for a whole year how we were going to come down. We traveled together. We both live in Alabama, so being able to travel out here and pull my boat out here and share driving time, it just what we were looking forward to it. So to get the news the other day that we weren't fishing together was kind of like a big shock to us. We were not expecting that whatsoever.
But I got to check my reels because as you may have seen, it looks like my former partner did some sabotage before we left the ramp. So, all right, so what we're doing here, we've come up on our first spots where Davey found some fish in practice, and it's a road bed that's coming off into some humps into deeper water. What we're gonna do is use these Lowrance electronics. Right now we're in 5 foot of water, but we're kind of staying off of the spots and using the side scan to look underneath them to see if the fish are there like he found in practice. So I'm seeing a few little white blips there. There they are.
Can you see the road bed?
There they are.
Yep, they're still there?
Yep.
Perfect.
Let's catch them.
They look like the chunky ones?
Yep.
All right.
Alpha teams Campbell and Hutchison are about a half hour upstream from Bravo team, who are on fish, kind of.
There is a net. I don't think he's gonna keep no
Nope.
spot.
It's finding those keeper fish. That seems like it's been the challenge for everybody so far today. Got him?
Right into a tree, I did. That was a bite. There's no doubt that was a bite. It'll make the highlight reel for sure. Problem is, when you're not getting a lot of bites, anything you feel is a bite, you set the hook on.
Hey, hook sets are free.
Yeah. One of the big things I do, like with all my soft plastics or whatever, on a straight hook like this, is I'll bend it out just a tad bit so that the hook is not in line with the eye of the hook. So when you go to set the hook on a fish, you have a better chance of a hook-up ratio. Especially key when the bite's so finicky as it is. We'll make sure you get good hook sets on the deal. So a couple little tweaks to it. So I'm tying it up.
We're hoping we can get a couple nice ones real quick. And like he was saying, we're gonna leave it alone, let it cool down, just in case we move on to the next round, and we'll have a little honey hole to come back to. You definitely, when you're fishing any type of tournament, especially if it's gonna be possibly multi-day, you don't wanna stay on the same spot. Yeah, there's fish there, but you just wanna catch what you need, leave them alone, and let them reload for the next day.
But the problem is that we are over an hour into this 4-hour event and no one has caught a keeper.
So we got out here on the lake and we did some fishing and practice, and of course, as it always does, the conditions changed drastically for the day of the competition. We've currently, I think, seeing the outer bands, all this cloud cover of a hurricane that's in the Gulf pushing up southwest of Houston into Texas right now. So, you know, we had high pressure, bluebird skies in practice. We get out here to the tournament and the clouds are unending, the wind is picking up a little bit, and the pressure is dropping. Should turn the fish on, and it seems like it has for some of the other teams, but we have not found that to be the case for these fish that we'd found.
Force on Force is brought to you by Strike King, by BioBore, by Lose, and by Dermatone.
You know, I have a lot of mementos from being in the military. Just that way, been in active duty for 15 years. But there's always one I carry around, and that's the bracelet from Staff Sergeant Patrick Kuchbach. I was a company commander 10 years ago in Afghanistan, and led a combat patrol with 10th Special Forces Group, and he never came back. You know, I wear that every single day. You know, that's a lot of what, you know, support defend fish. We all defend this country, and you know, that's what a lot of our nonprofits are about, like Folds of Honor. It's guys like Patrick, you know, not coming back and taking care of his family and making sure they have opportunity scholarships and things like that. And that's why, whatever we do, I had the opportunity to speak to college kids, and they were fishing for a national championship. And I told them, bro, the coolest thing is not that they're going to win a national championship, but when they idle past that flag, just the fact that they're going to fish for a national championship is the most awesome thought. It's because of guys like Patrick Kuchbach that we get to do it.
Alpha and Bravo teams are on the water, and so far, that's about all there is to report. We are about halfway through the 4-hour event, and neither team has a keeper on the scoreboard.
I say we just focus on getting 5 14-inchers or more in the boat real quick, and then we can focus on kickers.
I think we need to focus on getting one in the boat, and then we can focus on 2.
Meanwhile, Bravo team is fishing a little closer to launch, but moving around a lot. They just finished working in their 3rd location and are headed to their 4th.
Sometimes go for it and swing for the fence and see what happens out there.
It ain't quite panic time yet, but it ain't far away.
Yeah. Yeah, you can measure him if you want to, but
He ain't gonna make 14, ain't no way. 2 right at the boat coming up.
hey, we caught more than some of the other teams have.
That's right, we have now.
So, moral victories, small ones. I got one.
In the net.
Let's see. Nah, I don't need net. No spot. We found fish, they're just not the right size.
Saying in the Army about no plan surviving first contact, and I think we are officially there. We've got really less than an hour and a half of fishing time when you consider the run back to the weigh-in. We really got to get something here quick.
Got one. Oh, it's a nice one.
Come on, get him in the boat.
Woo! All right.
Right on.
Nice.
They
Little
killed
chunker.
measure too. Ooh, man.
Barely had him hooked.
Boy, that Strike King had that trailer hook. If it hadn't been for that,
if it wasn't for that trailer hook, we wouldn't have had him. Well, we just arrived to my second spot I found during practice. I was throwing Strike King spinner bait. That's about my 5th cast, and this one's nailed it, and luckily it had a trailer hook on her, because she would have came off if it didn't.
All right, so that's 1.98. 1 for 1.98.
All right. There she is. Beauty.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Way to start the rally, man.
Here we go. I was on a moving bait, so, and that was right up off the bank.
Way to start the rally.
Previous years we had certified Arkansas bait fish. They're healthy, hardy, and safe. They're a great way if you got kids, want to get them out there starting on fishing. That's what we use for my own 2 boys. In fact, this past year, my mom has a piece of property near where I'm stationed at in Huntsville, and we restocked the 3-acre pond there, and all the bait fish I had came out of Arkansas, and they were all certified Arkansas bait fish that we put in that pond. So it was like 60 pounds that we put in there, because one of the things I want to do was put a healthy bait fish in there to make sure. And so that was the first place I went to, was the certified Arkansas bait fish.
Force on Force is brought to you by Fins, by Liquid Mayhem, by All Seasons Feeders, and by Stone River Gear. Welcome back to the final moments of Force on Force. Tournament anglers have all been in this situation. No fish, time is almost out. You're hoping for a big kicker at the end to save the day, or maybe 2.
Oh shoot, it's right there. Come on, get it, get it, get it, get it.
Got him.
Net.
Yep, net.
You got 2.
Got 2, bring him.
Come on. Come on. Neither one of them are gonna keep. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, that one ain't for sure. That one might. I don't think so.
Nope. 13.
Yep.
Dude, you caught both of them at one time. Last minute efforts right there, boys. You don't make it. What? You can't say we didn't try.
No?
Can't say we didn't try. Guess we better.
Even catching a double, I couldn't get any weight in the boat. Yeah, if the last cast had been a couple 3-pounders, that'd have been nice instead of a
Dude.
couple 13-inchers.
I know, I thought you had, because the way I could see was,
It was weight on there, that's for sure.
I could see the
mass on there.
I could see the mass, and I was like,
Well, that's the way it's supposed to work. You see schooling fish on top like that, you cast into the middle of them. I mean, it ain't supposed to be 2 every cast, but it's fun when it is. All right, moment of truth time.
I hope you caught him. It was exciting, to say the least. You don't know how exciting it got. Lots of fish. Lots
Don't
of
count
them.
if they're 10 inches.
Hey,
Oh, they were over 10.
they were over 10. Oh, no.
Remember, I pre-fished with you, Sean.
No,
Unless
man.
you got some intel from somebody back here.
We followed our plan perfectly.
Perfectly to a T.
We never diverted from the plan.
At all.
We will find out whose plan survived the contact.
All right, bring it in, bring it in. Put your bow basic loads on the table, All right, welcome back. You made it through your first operation in 4 hours. With that said, this is the love bug operation. We literally have love bugs everywhere. We got the season 4, and season 6 Force on Force champions going head to head. So we'll start with Jeff, tell us about your operation. Give us your AAR.
Well, Hutch here was the real star of the show. We really, you know, Sean and I pre-fished together, didn't put a whole lot together as far as the offshore bite. So I was relying on my battle buddy here, and we executed his plan. We got up there. The first spot didn't pan out. We had a few hits and just couldn't capitalize on them. So we made a long move across Texas, across to the Texas side, fished some different water. He put one in the boat on a spinnerbait and really turned the tide. I will say we almost stayed too long way up the lake. If we had not been in that Skeeter boat, we wouldn't be back here on time.
Cool. Total fish, total weight?
One fish, one keeper, 1.98 pounds.
1.98 pounds from the Season 4, Season 6 champions. All right, Sean,
Hey,
give us your AAR.
it's Texas, it's hot. You know, we got weather coming in. So our plan was to cover a lot of water today. Got that FX Skeeter out there running around, trying a lot of different spots, hitting a lot of spots. And that's really the name of the game, is having good equipment and the best equipment on the water, and that's what we really do. You know, having fuel efficient motor with a boat that can get you through the waves, that makes all the difference in the world, and you can't do that spot fishing. So we covered a lot of water. Our initial plan, we had some fish, and we kind of figured out that that wasn't going to work. So we adjusted and made a fry go on the move like we do in all operations, and just covered lots of water. We caught a lot of fish, lots of fish out there. The problem is it's just coming down with those keeper bites, and we thought we just had the storybook ending there to end where he caught 2 fish at one time, but the problem was it was like 13 3/4, and we caught a ton of 13-inch fish. So we ended up with no fish that kept.
Oh my gosh, the champ zeros. The zeros and the other champs moving on with just over a pound. Congratulations, you'll move on to the next round of Force on Force.
I was real worried.
Take your bowboard basic loads and move out and draw fire. Congratulations, you're moving on. Oh, I can't believe the champ zeroed.
It was a familiar feeling to be winning, walking out of the talk, but it was a little bit mixed emotions to not be doing it with Sean.
Jeff's a good friend, and last 3 years have been pretty tough for me as far as family and Army Bass. Jeff and I talked about what Army Bass is about coming down here on a trip, and the biggest thing I think about Army Bass is the camaraderie and the friendships you made. And Jeff and I talked about the biggest thing is we just fish so well together, and we have such a good time on the boat. It wasn't about that, you know, one was going to beat the other. It's 2 good friends going out there having a good time.
So Jeff Campbell and David Hutchison, representing the U.S. Army and the Air Force, advanced to the semifinals. We have one more first-round matchup before our Final 4 is set, and that's next week on Force on Force.